What is going on, guys? It's your boy Jay here with Galactic Grizzly, coming at you from the car. So I'm gonna try and make this video quick because I got stuff to do. So we're gonna knock this out. We're talking all about DONDA 2, the listening party, the DONDA experience that was last night. I'm just gonna hop right into this. I'm gonna break this into the event itself, like the set and all of that, and how it was run. The issues, I'll just kind of get into that quickly. Then the music itself, and then the status of the album as far as it dropping. So the event itself, of course, was started late. Obviously, I called that. Most of us called that. It was no surprise. It is what it is. For the next listening party, I'm starting my stream an hour after the scheduled start time because there's no point in starting when the scheduled start time is that you're just sitting around for at least an hour. So that being said, of course he was late, but no surprise there. The set itself though was great. I think out of all of the DONDA listening parties, this was the best looking set. I loved the kind of charred up house, the thin layer of water that was across the whole set. Awesome. Loved the fire and the smoke. I just think the whole thing looked fantastic. And sorry if the camera's a bit too close, but the whole thing is fantastic. Shout out to the camera crew that got the visuals, you know, live as all this is being streamed. I thought they did a fantastic job of making this look movie quality, just live, all straight out of the camera. I thought it looked fantastic. And then all the outfit choices, like the fashion choices for not just Kanye, but also some of the other featured artists and all of the, I don't know if you would call them background dancers, but the other background performers, more or less. The whole sci-fi vibe that everybody was on was great with the helmets, the goggles. Loved all of that. Thought it was awesome. I thought Kanye's contacts actually looked really good. So kind of weird, but I thought he pulled it off and went with the look at the set, all of that stuff. So as a show itself, yes, I know that towards like the last quarter of that performance, there was those audio issues that did, you know, screw up kind of the flow of how things were going for sure. But overlooking that, the show as a whole, I highly enjoyed it. Up until that point, I thought it was going fantastically well, if that's even a word. Yeah, the audio issues, it is what it is. You know, I think that a lot of people are just quick to jump on, oh, you know, those audio people are gonna get fired, X, Y, and Z, and they may. Knowing how Kanye usually does things, sounds like something that would probably happen. He's like, all right, whoever was on that audio team, never working with them again. That's that. But I hope that's not the case, because I mean, who knows? Maybe it was human error. Maybe it was just a tech thing. You know, I think we should all be well aware that technology is not perfect. Give the people some slack. And if it was their own error, people screw up from time to time. Like, it happens. I thought all the music still sounded fire, so it is what it is. But anyway, so as for the show itself, those are my thoughts. I didn't think that the audio issues towards the end there ruined anything, especially because the audio issues were primarily over the DONDA 1 tracks. So we already know what that sounded like. It really wasn't, we weren't missing out on too much, I don't think. But moving on into the music itself. So all the new tracks, in case you have not heard it yet, there was new tracks for like the first half of the show, and then second half was some more new tracks mixed in with a bunch of the old tracks from DONDA 1. I thought really most of the new songs sounded excellent. There were some great features in there. X is on the intro featured. I think that so far out of what I've heard, that's my favorite song, is the opening one. Just very impactful. He was on a second song later on. I don't remember the names of these tracks yet, just because they're all very new. Jack Harlow was also featured on the Louis song. You know, the I Stopped Buying Louis When Virgil Passed, that just kept repeating. I did not really care for that song just because it's so repetitive. But I'm excited to hear Jack's verse once the song is done and out, which I'll get to that in a second. The couple songs that Future was on sounded fire. There's one where it's, I think, just him and Kanye, and then there's another one where it's him, Kanye, and Travis. Both sounded fantastic. The song with Keem and Migos on it sounded fantastic, another banger. There's quite a few bangers in there. Those are just some of the ones that come off the top of my head first. Don Toliver is on it again. His sounded excellent as well. I'm trying to think of some other tracks that I like. There was there's a song with a bunch of clapping in it. I know that sounds maybe kind of generic, but there's a song with a bunch of clapping in it that was one of the first couple tracks on there that I love. That's like, from off the top of my head right now, it's like one of my top 3 songs that I've heard off of this so far. So the music itself is there. I think that Donda 2 is another great hit. It's definitely not as many tracks on this as there were in Donda 1. The X feature was a surprise. Another big surprise was no Drake. Did not get any Drake, at least in this. Maybe there's still something coming down the pipeline, but no Drake was pretty surprising. But again, the music, for everything that it is, I don't have an exact count, but I feel like it's around 10 new tracks, maybe a little less than that. I don't feel like it's anything over 10. But for those 10 new tracks, I think they more or less all sounded pretty good. The unfinished thing, I don't think that they sound unfinished. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. Like, they give me the same vibe that Donda 1 gave me, where it's like some songs just kind of drag on in certain places, which kind of gives the vibe of like, is this just filler because the song is unfinished, or is this how it's intended to sound? So that vibe is still there. It definitely carries that over from Donda 1, which this is a great sequel because it takes some of the elements from Donda 2, but just goes in a different, takes some of the elements from Donda 1 and goes in a different direction. Donda 1 was kind of more like Ye mourning his marriage ending and his family being split apart, and you know, just kind of mourning that transition period in his life. And now Donda 2 is more like, all right, this is him currently and what he's currently going through and how he currently feels, which is a bit more I don't know, just both albums are very honest, and this definitely carries that over. This one is not, so it's not really aggressive, that's not the word I would use, but it's just kind of edgy and just a little more in your face. Like Donda 1 was, if you could say, reserved, a little more reserved, and again, it was kind of like a mourning album. But this one is not, I don't think there was any gospel on this at all, besides the Sunday service choir that was like an interlude, but outside of that, there was no gospel in this at all. So yeah, just a bit more like edgy and in your face and kind of anxious too. It kind of gives me similar vibes that Life of Pablo gives as well, where it's, again, I wouldn't say aggressive like Jesus, but just kind of edgy. It's the best word I can use for right now, only hearing most of the songs like twice. But yeah, the release of it, so apparently the first, I don't know if it's the first 4 songs or just 4 songs are out now. If you have a stem player, you can just connect your stem player to your computer, and the website will put the 4 songs onto the stem player. So as of just like an hour ago, I just saw that. But that's only for 4 songs, and again, that's only if you have a stem player. So when are we getting the rest? I have no idea. I would imagine sooner rather than later, because, you know, why put out 4 songs and then wait, you know, several months before you put out the rest of them. But I do feel like he's probably going to incrementally put them out. Like, he'll put out 4 now, and then maybe next week he'll put out another 4 or whatever, because he's treating this whole thing as like I forgot, there's a term for it, but it's kind of like a work in progress, where he's just using the stem player as his own platform to keep putting out updates at his own pace, kind of like a free-to-play game for gamers out there. But yeah, it should be out soon. I don't think like the rest of it should be out soon. If that's the case, maybe we'll get another listening party. It doesn't seem like it would warrant another listening party if there's songs already coming out officially now. Maybe there'll be one more, almost like a official celebration of, all right, now it's done, all the songs are done, I've put all of them out onto the stem players, and we're just gonna basically have like a Donda 2 concert celebrating all the finished songs. I could see that happening, but not like Donda 1, where it was just a bunch of listening parties that all had incremental changes made as they were working towards finishing the album. I don't see that happening. So if anything, maybe one more that just is like a showcase, a full actual concert for the finished songs once they're on everybody's stem players at that point. But for you guys, I mentioned this in a poll. If you guys wanted a DONDA 2 experience pack with all the MP3s from the new music that was played yesterday night, I'm putting that out in a download link so that you guys can have all those new songs that are just basically pulled right from the show last night, and you can have all the new tracks, download them to your computer, your phone, whatever, and have them. So the way to do that, just follow me on Instagram. I'll probably make a very quick, like 10-second video just announcing this, but I'll say it here as well. Follow me on Instagram, it's down in the description below, and then just DM me that you want the pack and I'll send you the link. That way you can download it. I don't want to put the link on YouTube because it can very easily get taken down, and it probably would get taken down, so it's easier if you just hit me up privately and then I can send you the link and then you can download it from there. So if you want the new tracks, I'm not putting in the old stuff that was performed last night, there's no point. If you want the new tracks as they were performed yesterday in MP3 form, already, you know, good to go, follow me on Instagram, DM me, and then I will send you the link. So that's it, folks. DONDA 2, it's not done yet. We're getting there. So there'll be more content coming out about what's currently going on with the album. Curious to know what you guys thought of the new music performed last night. Hit me up on IG. See you guys in the next one.